That's about as matrix as we get here at the B3. This is Anthony Furlong, and you should get to know it.
Hey, this is Anthony Furlong. Hello. Here's my 20 questions.
2, 3.
What trick would you most like to be able to do? 540s, switch frontside 540s. Any superstitions or rituals before an event? Not really. I just believe in karma. Be good to others, nothing bad will happen to you. What's your favorite band? Superchunk. Who is your hero? My hero is Steve Caballero. What's your favorite cartoon? South Park. What's your favorite animal? A lion. He's king of the jungle, right? He's king of the jungle, right? What phrase is totally overused? Extreme is totally overused. What would your MC name be? I don't know. MC Furley. Would you sleep with Hillary Clinton? Definitely, just to piss off the world. If there was a brawl between bike sports and blades, who would win? That's a tough one. The bike guys are pretty thick. The blades don't stand a chance. They're a bunch of girls. What do you people think is your most annoying habit? Picking my nose. I do it all the time. There you go, dude. I'm out of here.
There you have the definition of a nose-picking blader-hater in Anthony Furlong. Nice frontside air to start things off.
Kickflip mute. I like that he does kickflip mutes instead of kickflip indies or instead of kickflip whatevers. The mute just looks good.
Well, Chris, seeing as how you can do all those tricks in your sleep, you would be a good person to comment on.
That is not a trick that I can do. I cannot do the kickflip mute. Nice frontside nose grind over the death box, down the escalator. This is a good run. He's putting it together here.
And sometimes Anthony seems to have a tendency to, within his first 3 or 4 walls, just kind of lose it. But right now, looking solid.
This is one of the things that I've seen from Anthony, just watching him, is that from conscious to conscious over time, he's just gotten more solid, more polished, as evidence here that beautiful kickflip mute, very nice, and the frontside nose grind over the death box.
Roy, were you happy with it?
Yeah, I was real happy. I hadn't skated that smooth all weekend.
What about the ramp? How they changing it? Little bumps here, channels. How do you feel about this one?
I like this one. Well, for me, I'm goofy-footed, and I do nose grinds a lot, so it worked out perfect that way. If it was on the other corner, it probably wouldn't work out as good because I have to go backside off of it.
All right, so in the final, we got 10 competitors. They got 3 45-second runs with the best one counting.
Chris Miller letting you know exactly what you need to do to win. And skateboarding is a beautiful thing because you can go from an Anthony Furlong with a tech sort of smooth flow to 90 miles an hour and flying all over the place with Lincoln Ueda.
Lincoln is always on the verge of just spontaneous combustion, just going huge and just way up there in the wind, letting his board fly, grabbing it, bringing it back under him. This kid's amazing.
Pierre-Luc Gagnon, formerly a resident of Montreal, Quebec, now hanging out in Encinitas, California, skating the Y a bunch.
And again, he's another person who's just looking smoother than ever. He's going big and tech, back-to-back fives.
Indy 5.
Today not being Pierre-Luc's day, but we will see him in the future.
Always. The man with the yellow board and the yellow helmet. He's the newlywed, and he's trying to get back to that fine form that we've seen him in the past.
You know, now I've been seeing Andy, and I've skated with him a few times, and I mean, I have to say, although lately he has not had the competitive results that he would like, he's always been in fine form. He just hasn't been putting it together in contests like he needs to. Tail slide, hitting the extension, almost losing it there.
So we'll say competitive form.
Yeah, Andy is known as Mr. Consistency, and he's always known for his combinations, like we're seeing here. Nollie heel flip into frontside gate twist, into backside 360, into a fakie to fakie 5.
That's looking familiar.
Almost making the shove it 5-0. That is unheard of, those kind of combinations.
That's the Andy Macdonald that I was referring to earlier.
That we know and love. Check this tail slide. He hits the extension that was unplanned and almost caused him to lose it right there. There's that nollie flip.
There's a couple flip tricks in there. One in particular on that wall that I was riding up the wall gonna do and feel the wind, so I did invert there instead.
What about the frontside gate twist? I think did you grab the coping on the way in on that one?
That was another one. The wind, you gotta really pop out on that side or else the wind will blow you in. I thought I was gonna hang up for sure, so yeah. Landed on the vert and pushed off the coping, make sure I didn't hang up.
Well, that was very well done, very smart. Well done there.
Thanks.
Andy Macdonald smart enough to hold on in the wind. Brian Patch is coming at you, coming up. Stick around.
All these people down here on the down low, what you got going down here?
Welcome back to the B3 in Louisville, where Andy Macdonald is currently the leader of the leaderboard. Mike Frasier. Down goes Frasier. Out of Tampa, Florida.
Frasier, it's nice to see him on the attack again. One of the most aggressive skaters out there. Frasier is always a high energy and fun person to watch. As evidence there, just pulling stuff out of the sky.
Frasier seems to have a broken wing here and there, whether it's a head or a shoulder, but he always comes back in that raw attack dog form.
Yeah, he's really fun to watch just for that reason, that he's always, there's a switch frontside rock up on the extension. That's a difficult trick into fakey 5-0. Frasier throwing some tech in here at the end of his run.
And we could say now what?
There it is, the eggplant revert. Again. Whoa. Frasier.
Hold on, Frasier.
Edging out on that little last trick, sliding into home. Frasier's got to be stoked with that run. Here's that finger flip frontside air, Sal, that you were flipping out about. And the eggplant revert, another unique trick.
Hyped on that Frasier run. An 85 from the judges. 10 years in the game, and the guy is still doing it like a little kid. These are the people that skated well enough in the preliminary round to make it into the final, and they're trying to make money today, because this is what they do for a living. Brian Patch, one of those individuals out of Huntington Beach, California. We say it all the time, he's the ATV all-terrain vehicle. Pretty much, if you put it out there, he can skate it. World record jumps, bowls.
Big 540 right there.
The whole 9 yards.
Patch is starting off solid, looking smooth. Frontside invert up on the extension.
Brian Patch's dad drove all the way from, I don't know where, but it was like 14 hours to come out to the contest today. He's come up to me 3 times and said, hey, you know, that's my son right there. He's really good.
Patch is putting it together in this run. I was watching him in practice, and he was not putting it together like this, I can tell you that much. Patch is just killing it, blowing things out of the hat. Ooh, that was a weird fall. Looks like his knee pad stuck on one of the screws.
Lucky his knee didn't end up sticking on one of the screws.
Huge 540 right here. Patch looking rock solid at the beginning of that run. Nice 360 varial to fakie there.
Mate, when you ride, is it a war? Is it a battle? What was that?
Riding borrowed board, borrowed trucks. Yeah, it's a little rough. Like, I'm not used to this at all.
That is a flag that blows in the wind. You don't want to see the flag blowing in the wind, because it means that you might see one of these dudes blowing in the wind. Andy Macdonald set to drop in next, fighting the wind.
Yeah, you know, you mentioned the wind, and skating in the wind is difficult always, but especially on vert, it's a real challenge, because once you get up into the air, there's generally one wall where it's pushing you out into the flat of the ramp, and there's another wall where it's pushing you onto the deck and making you want to hang up. And then you add the kind of complexity of doing flip tricks and letting go of your board. All of a sudden, as Andy mentioned on his last run, I mean, he missed one of his tricks. Basically, he said, hey, I can't do the kickflip. I'm going to have to just do a hand plant because I got to play it safe. No problems here on this run so far.
Yeah, I was going to say, it seems to be immaterial for Mr. Macdonald at this point, because he is feeling it.
540 varial into a frontside varial, into a nollie Heel flip varial.
Yeah,
I don't know what that was going to
Now
be.
the heel flip, the heel flip didn't come. I'll still try and put it underneath my feet. And I'm ruling with varial 5 like that.
Varial 5, that was the champ run right there. And he just putting everything together.
Must have been the honeymoon, like you said earlier, because Andy is feeling it today, bumping himself up now to a 90.67, owning first place like Han Solo. Max Dufour in the final. Haven't seen Max Dufour, another Quebecan from Canada. Haven't seen him in a minute. But, Chris?
The other Canadian in the vert final, Max, again, is another one of these skaters who is capable of pulling it out and just taking it home. He's capable of winning it. He's a good skater. He's got a solid style. He's kind of a big, kind of lanky guy, and he tends to be one of those skaters that makes things look a little easy. That was sweet kickflip to fakie. Looking very solid right here, frontside air disaster. Again, like I said, you know, there's times when Max makes things look almost a little too easy, blunt to fakie on the death box, and the judges tend to, sometimes they almost judge him down. This is an incredible run right now. Fakie to fakie 5. This run's filled with tricks.
And I like the fact that, you know, wind or no wind, people are just throwing it out there and doing it on purpose. There, I said it.
The south flip to fakie into a cab. Max Dufour just pulling out an amazing run out of the hat. Difficult tricks all the way to the very end. Things like this backside 5, just rock solid, and a blunt fakie on the death bar.
You are riding really strong right now. Is there any secrets to this consistency?
No, I don't know. Just feel good, that's all. I mean, I don't even think about it, and I'm just staying on. So, well, hopefully, for a couple of runs.
I'm backing that strategy. I think I'm going to use that.
Yeah, you better, man. You gotta get back up in the vert ramp.
I will.
Ellis, board of the mic. What's it going to be? Andy Max in front right now. He's trying to stay there.
It's a lot of things to remember. I just smacked my head. Ready? Hi, I'm Mike Frasier, B3, Skateboard Vert in Louisville. Stick around.
You're gonna ride that skateboard the rest of your life. I guess he showed me.
Welcome back, people, to the B3 Vert competition. That's Andy Macdonald. He is presently in first. We're in the midst of the third runs.
Anthony Furlong put together a rock-solid first run and came back on his third again, just putting things together, super smooth, good air, starting things off, showing us that nose grind over the death box and down the escalator, one of his better tricks in his run. This kid's definitely coming up and improving from event to event.
Chris, I got a question for you. There seems to be an air of confidence amongst the entire field. Does it have anything to do with no Colin McKay, no Bucky Lassick, no Rune Glifberg, and no Bob Burnquist, the usual top 4, top 5 in a final?
Well, I mean, when those guys aren't here, it definitely opens things up and allows other people to come up and creates more opportunity. But when you have guys like Neil Hendricks, who you see skating here, or Mike Frasier, who are veterans, these guys are always putting together solid runs. They always are good performers, whether the top guys are there or not.
Yeah. Hey, where's Ellis?
What are you doing over there?
What am I doing over here? You know, I don't know. I kind of lost interest.
Have I just busted you?
No.
I busted you not paying attention.
No, you know what? I saw everyone's first run, and I thought that'd be good enough.
Lies. You haven't been watching it all.
No,
and now it's going on national television. Every vert pro will know now that Steve Barra doesn't like us. All right, thanks a lot, Steve.
You're welcome.
Steve's like throwing stones into the river or something over there. Wake up, Barra!
Yeah, because the vert contest going on, and you used to be a vert dude, Barra. You should be interested.
Barra, I was telling Barra he needs to rediscover his roots and start skating vert again. I'm like, come on, Barra, why aren't you up there, man?
Bring it back. Brian Patch. Ripping.
Big backside 5. Patch is, you know, I didn't realize he was riding the borrowed board, the borrowed wheels, the borrowed trucks. He is just, you know, I guess hasn't really been able to skate vert that much. It's not showing here. This run noticeably improved over his previous runs.
Yeah, he's kind of just hanging out in one section of the ramp, but nonetheless, I mean, on borrowed equipment, he's looking lovely.
He's putting together good combinations. Nose grind over the death box right there. Flowing, you know, the wind. Whoa! He just edging out on the bar. He almost lost it. Difficult to tell from the camera angle, but the only thing touching was the very edge of his wheel. There's Patch with the fakie to fakie 5. That was a solid run. Very solid run. There's that nose grind over the death box. And here is that edger I was talking about.
Well, that was a wheel.
As far as I'm concerned, no matter what you're placing, I think you already won because you just put in a little bit more effort than everybody else.
Just trying to hang on. That's it.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay, you want not.
I got my family here. I got to stay on.
He's doing it for the family?
Yeah.
Otherwise, your dad wouldn't be like too happy if you had to bail that ride, huh?
Exactly.
You're
I think
lucky.
I'm slacking.
Very lucky.
Brian Patch holding on for dear life for the family, and Andy Macdonald pondering what he needs to do to win, which is basically just stay in first place. Is presented by 1-800-COLLECT, save a buck or two, and in part by Circuit City, imagine that, and by Snapple, made from the best stuff on earth.
Mike Crumb with a score of 77.6 is currently...
Yeah, welcome back to B3. That is the crouching Andy hitting Macdonald on the vert ramp, contemplating first place and how much he wants to stay there. But Mike Crumb, Texas boy, is capable of good things.
Crumb has been on the steady comeback trail. He's always been one of the most innovative guys, and another one of those guys who's kind of known for his style, his smooth tricks, his nollies.
Yes, he is the nollie master. Sometimes when Ellis gets mad at him, he says, "Hey, why don't you go nollie something?"
You know what? He's pale and he's thin. That's a couple of things about him. But he's smooth. You know
How
what
was
I mean?
that? Alley-oop.
Nollie, alley-oop, frontside ollie is one of my favorite tricks. Right there, nollie, frontside flip. Crumb showing you what's up. Look at the smooth style.
I'm stoked because I haven't seen Crumb stay on like this in a while, and it's great to see because people need to know that Mike Crumb is one of the best skateboarders in the world.
Definitely, and like Donnie Barley on the street, Crumb is another one of those guys that just looks good. He's rolling across the flat bottom, doesn't matter. That's all Crumb had in him. He's done. He's like, oh.
He's like, I just stood on for 45. Give me a medal.
There is the nollie frontside alley-oop ollie, the most beautiful trick done on the vert ramp today, I would say.
I got wobble legs.
Why have you got wobble legs?
I skated too much earlier.
You know how you do switch caballerials? What are you thinking in the middle of that move?
What am I? Hope I make it.
I like the Ellis line of questioning. Little Jake Brown out of Australia, mate.
Check the first move, Sal.
What?
Little ice planted fakie off of the railing at the top of the vert extension. Definitely no one else doing that today. Big McTwist. Jakey Brown was ripping it up today.
Nice to see Jacobs in the final. But now, Andy Macdonald, what would you call this, a victory lap?
I would call this a nail in the coffin, victory lap. One more for the road.
One more for all the mullets in Louisville.
He's not slowing down. The pressure is off, and it gives him the freedom to just kind of go off, try to go big, try to throw some more difficult combinations, and just kind of put on a show without that pressure of having to worry about whether he makes it or not.
Because he's sitting lovely in first, and it's nice to see. This is going to be a really good confidence builder, I think.
Oh.
And there I go.
Little nollie frontside flip. Hey,
I'm the jinx.
Hold on. He's coming back. He's coming back. Don't expect anything less from Andy than a shocking display of technical combinations right here.
Yeah, more of a display in 5 seconds.
540 varial.
In doing 45 seconds.
Nollie, frontside varial, heel flip, lean, whatever that was. And he's just like, okay, I'll take that. I fell, but I just threw a combination that was not really anything else done today.
Crouching Andy, hidden varial 540 Macdonald.
Check the combinations. Notice his feet just preparing them across the flat.
And Andy, I'm trying to shake your hand, man. Congratulations, Andy Macdonald, winning, killing it here in Louisville, Kentucky, followed by some people we don't normally get to see in the final, like Max Dufour and Brian Patch. And you got to wonder if Andy Macdonald gets nervous after all these years.
No, I don't know. I've been competing in these contests like as a pro for like 7 or 8 years now, and it depends. Most of the time, though, yeah, I get nervous, and sometimes, like today, I was real nervous to the point where it's just usually it's butterflies or whatever, but a lot of times I drop in and I'm having trouble with my blood flow and stuff. Usually about like the third wall, it's gone though.
Well, the jitters are definitely gone now. It's time to celebrate Andy and his buddies Max Dufour and Brian Patch celebrating the spoils of victory here in Louisville.
Well, that is going to do it for the Louisville B3 activities. But you know what? I know you enjoyed it and you were hyped on it. And you know what? We're also moving forward to the X Trials, Grand Prairie, Texas. I'll see you there. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. You heard?